Hey everybody, welcome back. We've got a really good episode for you today. If you didn't already know, this is actually we just celebrated our 5 years of full-time travel. And so today we're going to talk about that, talk about kind of how we got started and also whether we do it again.
So if you're new here, I'm Michelle.
And I'm Joel.
And we're the Wandering Hartz, and we're helping you live a more abundant life by traveling abroad. So we just want to kind of talk about our journey to this full-time travel lifestyle, why we decided to do it, some of our initial fears and concerns about becoming full-time travelers, and then also how we prepared for it, and then some of the highlights that we've had the last 5 years of traveling. And then also too, at the end of the video, stick around. I guess we'll go over if we would do this again and maybe something that we would do differently.
Yeah. There's a good chance that if you're watching this, you're likely interested or even curious about full-time travel. So if you are, let us know in the comments. For instance, like, where are you on your journey? Are you kind of in the starting out phase? You just kind of like trying to get information, or are you already traveling on your own? Or are you just like kind of curious and wondering if this could be something that you could do, but you just don't have any idea of how to make it happen? So do that. And then also you can leave some information about kind of like where you're at and a little bit of background if you want to.
Now, before we talk about how we got here, if you're curious about incorporating slow travel into your lifestyle, be sure to sign up for our weekly newsletter. It goes out every Friday, and we provide real-time updates, some behind the scenes into our lives, practical tips, inspiration. So just scan the QR code on the screen.
So now let's talk about kind of the decision that led us to basically being full-time travelers. Essentially, how did we get to where we're at right now? I guess the first question on that is kind of how did we decide to become full-time travelers?
So I actually lost my job in 2019, and I was able to get a remote job 3 months later. So that kind of, I guess, put the wheels turning in both of our heads. I was working from home now, and then Joel had been working from home since 2010.
Yeah, it's been a while for me. I was doing a lot of, I had a business at the time, and then I was also doing film and video production. So
yeah, and you were already traveling a lot with that.
Right. Yeah, I was traveling maybe once, at least 1 week a month. I was probably off in some state shooting something or whatever.
Yeah. So. And we both share a love of travel already. So it just kind of, turned into, what if we did look into this lifestyle? And we were already kind of feeling like maybe we didn't want to stay in Nashville anymore. So that's kind of, what started this whole thing.
Yeah, because we've been in Nashville for quite a while. I've been there for 27 years, I think. And then together, we've been there for 12 or 13
Yeah, about 12 years.
Yeah. So for us, it was just a time to try something different.
Yep.
So another reason we decided to sell everything and do this whole full-time travel thing is that we wanted to basically still be able to travel and have these experiences while we were still relatively young, and is also while we still had our health too.
So now we wanted to kind of go over some of our initial fears and concerns, and maybe something, that you're thinking about as well. Kind of, how expensive would this be? Could we even afford this lifestyle? Also, would we get bored?
Right.
Would we feel isolated? And I don't think any of those things have happened really.
No, I have to say that we haven't. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So one other thing that you mentioned is like the affordability of it. It really does not have to be expensive, and I think we're definitely proof of that. We've been traveling full time now on a really small budget, way cheaper than you'd ever think. We've actually got some cost of living videos that you can check out, kind of give you a better idea about that. So definitely take a look at those. But that does bring us to the next question, really, and that is basically like, how did we prepare for it? Like, what did we do in order to get us to the point that we're at now?
Yeah. Yeah, so we went kind of extreme. We did end up selling everything that we own to travel full time. We sold our house as well, and it took us 6 months. We gave ourselves a deadline, and yeah, it was kind of chaotic.
Oh yeah, it was definitely chaotic. But I think that what the biggest thing was that like once we made the decision, we were like all in.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, for sure.
And it did help that you were working remotely by this point, and with my job, I was, I mostly work from home. So I had a little bit more, I could wiggle some free time in here and there. So that was really the only reason that we were able to do it so fast.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
So, I mean, we've been traveling for 5 years now, and that's a lot of time, a lot of experiences. What would you say some of the highlights have been for us?
Yeah, so for us, the first 2.5 years, we ended up traveling full-time in the United States, which wasn't the plan, but it turned out fine. It was actually really fun. We got to see a lot of the United States that I had never seen before, and we got to spend time in Puerto Rico, which was a huge, huge highlight for us. We loved our time there.
We miss Puerto Rico a lot. Yeah.
We also have spent a lot of time in the Balkans, Albania, Bulgaria, Macedonia, Czech Republic.
Yeah, Romania.
Yeah, so I would say that, that's all been positive places for us to go, especially as Americans. We don't know kind of a lot about some of the Eastern Europe countries. So yeah, I think it's been a really good thing for us to kind of experience, a little bit different culture.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's always takeaways from all of that too. Another thing, I guess another highlight would be our time in Portugal. We spent 3 months in Portugal, which was absolutely amazing. We really enjoyed our time there.
Yeah. So yeah, I would say another big kind of surprise and highlight for us is all the people that we've met on our travels and the community that we've built. It's been actually really, really wonderful.
Yeah, that's a big surprise too. I was not expecting to encounter that and to realize just like kind of how fulfilling it's been too. So that's probably a really big takeaway for me.
Yeah. Yeah. And we've actually got to travel with a lot of these people to different countries and meet up with them along the way. So it's always fun when you have a community and friends that you can explore different places with, new foods, new experiences. So that just makes it all the better. Yep.
Also, I'd say another highlight too is the fact that since we're winos, we've gotten a chance to do and experience a lot of really great wineries, try a lot of different wines. Again, like all over the Balkans, Portugal, like so much good wine and
food.
And food, yeah. Like, there's just so much good food. So much. I guess we're back to the culture thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been really, really great, and I don't miss a minute of what we used to do. Being back in Nashville all the time. So.
Overall, full-time travel has definitely changed us for the better, and we're definitely looking forward to the next couple of years of slow traveling and seeing different places. Yeah, and of course, it might look a little bit differently, the next 5 years than the last 5 years. But, that's something that we'll kind of explore as we go along. We definitely like the idea of having some kind of a little base that we can kind of come back to, just for like a month or two or at a time, just we kind of like swap clothes out and things like that. Yeah. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. So all that, of course, comes back to kind of like a bonus question, and that would be, what would we do differently, if we had to, starting over again? That's a really big question. So I'll just do a quick short answer, and that would be, I think in our preparation time, I would definitely give us more time to prepare. Yeah. 6 months was, like you said, pretty intense. Yeah. And it was a lot. And, most people just can't do that, right, with schedules and work and stuff like that. So I would definitely say I wish we had at least like a year to do it instead of the 6 months.
I would suggest longer if you can.
Yeah.
So, so what about you? That's the next question. Could you see yourself selling everything to travel full time? Or maybe you just want to like do a couple extended vacations? Or maybe if you're working remotely or you have an online job or something like that, maybe you'd be interested in doing like 2 to 3 months of slow travel at a time. If that is something that you're actually interested in, be sure to let us know. You can leave a comment or whatever, or you can even email us as well, or contact us through one of our socials.
Mm-hmm. And if you found this video helpful, be sure to like and subscribe. That helps us a lot. And two, if you are interested in this lifestyle of full-time travel or slow travel, we have another website that we've started called Nomadic Abundance.
Yeah. And so, yeah, Nomadic Abundance, basically it's meant to be kind of a resource to help you figure out how to prepare for full-time travel, and kind of from the beginning to also helping you along the way. So we're adding a lot of content to that every month. So be sure to check that out with the QR code on the screen. Additionally, there's also a ton of episodes that you can find on our YouTube as well as the podcast. I think we're at almost 27, 30 or something, 40 episodes now at this time. Anyways, there's a lot of good information there you can check out, and it's all free. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this is really helpful for you, and happy wandering.
Happy wandering.